Welcome to Verbal Pick Radio, where we give you a verbal image of life, and we are everyday people. I'd like to welcome you all to the show. We're dealing with the youth being treated in such a manner by the police department, by the justice system, by what they perceive as a nation of laws. But are we citizens in America? When I say we, I'm talking about black people in America. Because of the treatment that's being handed out to black people, and because of the lack of awareness, or it may be that the rest of the population are aware of what's going on, but they turn their back on it. They choose not to deal with it because it's not a member of their race. But it is true that when there's injustice amongst any what they perceive as a minority group in America, you will always see somebody black standing for them. I remember seeing Cornel X stand for a lot of Hispanic brothers that got mistreated, discriminated against by what we call the system. I've seen black people stand for Asians, or the guy, or a Chinese or background. The guy drug off the United plane. Black stood for that, said that was wrong, that was unjust. I seen blacks stand for the Middle Eastern Muslims when they were being discriminated against, and the ideal of the Muslim ban. You had blacks standing with the Middle Eastern Muslim community. But when black people encounter these same instances to where their lives are being taken by a system who all of these other races I named, tax dollars goes into this system, there's not a big wide cry, I can say. You have some, but not to the degree of the percentage that's part of the whole of the population of America. Meaning that you would get it should be more people outraged at what's been going on and what continues to take place in this country behind citizens who say that this is the land of the free and the home of the brave. This is the best place on earth. Well, then speak out, because there's room to grow to make this even better than what it is. 15-year-old Jennifer Jeffley, that's Jeffley, convicted of murder at the age of 15, tried as an adult, signed a typed-up confession by the police department, and was promised that if you sign this confession, you could go home in the 8th grade. She's confused. She's still developing her mind power at the age of 15. She didn't know her rights, but still was tried and convicted of murder, which is a gross injustice. More people need to get involved. And the sad part about it is, we shouldn't wait until it hit close to home, because it should have hit close to home the minute you found out that a 15-year-old in America was railroaded by a justice system that you put your tax dollars in. Then on the other hand, just in Dallas, a 15-year-old male, black male, shot by the police. And the police encounter what happened contradict the video. So he's been fired. But the sad part about that is I'm afraid that there's so many incidents like this taking place to where people are becoming desensitized to matters such as this. It's like, okay, yeah, another black person shot by the police. We used to it now. So what? We don't ever want to get on that road. We don't want to take on that mindset to the degree of someone's getting shot and that's just what it is. Well, it's becoming so rampant to where extreme measures need to be taken, need to be put in action. Extreme measures. I mean, it has to be when they say hold the law enforcement accountable, or let's dig into the underlying root cause of what's being taken place. And I'm a firm believer, and I will always say this. I do believe that Hollywood, the media, plays a part into fueling a lot of this racial hate and racial tension. Well, they fuel it, but I mean, they take what was already there and exacerbate it to a degree to where now it spills over into the public streets. Racism is there, but racism sells, so let's make money off of it. It's a tool, it's a money. Racism, whether you know it or not, it's a big money-making tool. Especially for those who have the power versus those who are economically strapped, meaning you don't have the funds to put into your ideology of how you like to be portrayed in the media, to put out a film that will portray you in a positive light, because you're not going to compete with Sony, Warner Brothers, or whatnot to battle their machine. So then we say, well, why don't we take on a grassroots effort into changing the dynamics of Hollywood in the way that black people are being portrayed, particularly in the media. And the simple thing is, it goes back to, can we as a people unite? Or, as the teaching says, how can you be successful unless you speak the language of the people? And then what's the language? The language has been almost forgotten on how black people used to reach other black people, meaning I wouldn't have to be a relative, a blood relative of yours to be able to say something that would touch the core of your being and stand you back upright. See, that's the art that has been lost. Or they say we can't reach the youth. Nah, it's the youth wouldn't mind being reached. It's just that we don't have or we stopped studying to have the knowledge to reach the youth in this particular time of their involvement. We trying to reach the youth with what we had back in the 80s and the 90s. See, they way ahead of that game. They'll put out something, they'll create a product that's futuristic, but it's all based off of what was old. You had you had an Atari. Today they have a PlayStation. More graphics. The function is you playing a video game on TV, but it's amped up to where the graphics and the designs and it's almost realistic versus the Atari of what we had. But when the Atari came out, we still had fun playing the Atari. And so, when you reach in the youth of today, they want more knowledge in the content. But they want the knowledge in the content based on their freedom to express themselves and their dispensation in time. We're talking about the youth. The youth don't want an old message because they want to stamp their particular time on this planet because they came forth on this planet at a specific period in time. But they stand on the shoulders of the days of old, or the people, or the pioneers of old who forged the way so that they can have freedom. Now, the youth today will fight for freedom. And whether it be verbally, they'll get out on social media, because they need, and the reason being is, they need that space or that freedom space in order to develop and grow their minds into what they came on, from what they came on earth to bring forth. They're here to solve the problems of this era. And those who are against freedom, let's put it like that, knows this and will do everything in their power to stop their rise. They'll put out propaganda. They'll put a bunch of hormones in the food. Because the old man with the old money doesn't want that competition. He doesn't want his world to change because he controls his world. And the younger generation are saying that your world, your old world and old way of thinking is smothering us. Then that leads to why the music industry is pushing homosexuality in rap music. Now, I give New York, the Brooklyn, for the invention of rap music. And you might have some people who dispute that as far as, I don't know, because we're in the South. And we'll get into the South and music, or the South and the East Coast in just a minute. But the music was formulated, hip-hop, to give a message to those who didn't have a message, to explain to them the fight, to explain to them that this is what's going on, for awareness, over a beat, poetry. And so, within that message, a lot of people had started speaking back to one another. New York sent it out, the South responded, the West, East, different Midwest, and they came back with, yeah, we hear you, this is what's going on in our section. But now the South, and especially in small towns, and I'm not talking about the big cities, because when I was younger, I was always in the country. I live in the country now. And the country, the way people think in the country is a little bit different, because country people, they study metaphysics of nature. They would look at the working of the ants and the bees, or birds, and how they will model themselves on, look at the bird who built the nest for his family, the male bird by himself, put those birds in that nest. The mother goes out and gets the food, and nurture these birds, and they fly away. And then they repeat every year. And so in the country, you get a chance to actually see this going on. So you utilize nature for your benefit, so you understand that you need food, you need clothing, you need shelter, and you need finances in the capitalistic society. Basically, in a society, you need finances because no one is going to give you lighting, meaning, let's put it, electricity, your phone services, water, gas for free. We understand that. What we're trying to do is get people in the right frame of mind to understand the necessities or the formula that has to be applied to achieve that individual's said goal. Because each individual has a destination or a said goal, but if you're not unified, then you would choke that individual because maybe his goal is different from another person's goal. And if there's no freedom ground to say, hey man, go and express your goal on what you're trying to achieve your way, instead of saying, why you trying to do it like that? Why you can't do it? Oh, why you even going after that? That don't make sense. That doesn't make any money. Why you looking at it that way? You need to be over here doing it the way everybody else doing. But then you go interview everybody else. They may be doing it, but they not happy doing it. They doing it just because people said this is the way it should be done. Even though they have ideas based on their own hard work and study, evidence, proof that they went by themselves away from the group, picked the book up, learned the different way, tried to present the different way, but you had those that wasn't familiar with the different way, because what they is still stuck on is, my grandmother been doing it like this since so-and-so, and this the way it's been done in our family since, it's a new time, a new day. People are doing it differently. But in the context and the guidelines of the universal law or the mathematics that govern us as a whole or as a people. So do it within those contexts. Now, in the homosexuality, in the hip hop, which is a way, which is self-destructive, and meaning that in the beginning, and as my wife would say, in the beginning it didn't start off with two men. You had man and woman multiplying the race or people. Two men cannot continue on the human race. So when you hear people stand for or against homosexuality, they not standing against the individual. What they're saying is, yeah, that may be your thing and you going that way. That's your thing, but your thing is not my thing. Your belief is not my belief, because I believe that, and it hasn't been proven, that two men can populate humanity. So that's a non-discussion. And those that are in the homosexual community, you can't get mad at the heterosexual for sticking with a mindset of production, because life is based on producing. Man, woman produce child. Man, woman produce an economic system for their family. They produce materialism. They produce a life structure. So it's not a war. It's not a heterosexual versus homosexuality. But what young black men have to understand is the fear of the young black man, but they will accept you more or like you better if you feminize yourself. So you have some white women that's undercover racists that's part of the feminist movement that who understands that there is a population of black people who hold gold and identity is to be accepted by white people. And they understand that. So what they do is they'll say, well, look, we'll invite you in on a false sense of acceptance because we want to teach you to empower the female, put that over the young male to start him off saying it's okay to play with female dolls. It's okay to dress him in an all pink outfit and cater towards his feminine side. Because the truth is, it's just like Peanut Man. Man, what's my name? Oh man, we'll talk about it in Fenway Park. But oh man, it just slipped my tongue. Peanut farmer who forward with the plant. The brother. And it's on the tip of, I'm moving so fast, it's early in the morning, it's on the tip of my tongue. Well, the name will come back to me as I continue this on. But the Ford had to castrate this man. Had to castrate him because they didn't want him sleeping with their white daughter when they took him in and helped not raise him, but to suck up his mind in order for them to receive wealth. You know, and it was sad, but it's the same thing. They will suck the young black male into feminization because the underlying meaning is they don't want the young black male going after their daughters. So you will have them portray as black. They'll go after the black woman because they feel as though the black woman is the head of the household truly. But that's just an old slave system where they put the black woman in charge of all the slaves, even over the man. And if she went back and told the slave master that the black man wasn't behaving right or didn't follow her instructions, then they'll be hell to pay. So when you look at how they use psychological warfare upon the minds of people, it's not as potent as it was back in the day because it was easy to run through the minds of black people because black people wasn't allowed to read or write at a specific time. So, okay, you can run the game then, but now knowledge is out here. And so it's harder to run that game on black people, you know. And a matter of fact, today, and that's the problem. Today, black people are not really going for all of that. And the problem you may have now is the fact that they're tired of being played with, or black people are tired of being tempted with false scenarios to get them to be something that, let's say, a racist would like them to be, and they go at it with this tricky type way. But that doesn't even work anymore, so they getting frustrated and saying, okay, well, we'll just outright just shoot them. And so we getting to we still working on it. We getting to the underlying goal of what's going on and why it's going on. Put it like that. And so one underlying reason is they don't want you sleeping with their women, messing up their population. And I'm talking about the racist whites, not you have liberals who say that love, free love. Love is love. Then you have those who are saying that you're messing up the white population because, you know, if white people mix with any other race other than white, the child doesn't come out looking like that person. Doesn't have the pigmentation. The eyes would change. Nose would change because melanin is a dominant feature. I mean, that's scientifically been proven. So, you know, it's not like, and this is not, once again, when you speak on truth dealing with race, it's a hard topic to discuss, but it has its place in society, because if it didn't have its place, then all the violence among race wouldn't be here. So it's 100% valid, you know. But the topics like this are leading down a road to a discussion on what it is, or let's bring this thing to a head, I guess. Let's get down to the nitty gritty. You know, meaning people are judging people on their false perception on what they've been taught over generations, and they keep passing it forward into a new generation. You know, and even though the lies had to be told to justify the injustice. Because injustice has to be backed up by a lie. There's a lie somewhere in there. That's why it's unjust. If it's 100% truth, then you get justice. But even if it's 100% truth, no, even if it's truth and you looking it dead in the eye and you receive injustice, that's because someone was a liar to their core. Their being was a lie, so they couldn't render justice. Meaning, that's why in John, in the Bible, it was John 8, he was speaking on that you were a liar and a murderer from the beginning. Meaning, that's what you do. You're gonna lie, you're gonna murder, is what Jesus was telling them. So how can you render a just decision? That goes back to the Jennifer Jeffley case. She was a 15-year-old black child, and she was what they call, and man, hold on, before I get finished that, Queen Sugar had the daddy, what's it, Ralph Angel? This Oprah's movie, and Oprah helps out a lot of black artists in the industry as far as his movie writers, putting their movies together, and so on and so on. It's the narrative. It's the narrative of having what they try to portray as a strong black man, but he allowed his light-skinned son to play with a Barbie doll. Woo! Man, you know, that perception. But Jennifer Jeffley, same thing. How can, when the court-appointed attorney, lawyer for Jennifer Jeffley, there was no upright or good within him. He didn't have the capability. Hell, he coming home intoxicated and killed someone in the Woodlands. Who handled her appeal. And this is the kind of people that the judicial system appoints over cases. You do not appoint any white person over a minority's case if that white person isn't an upstanding model citizen. You appoint him to the white people, because regardless if he's not an upstanding model citizen, by in his nature, he's going to look out for his own race, is what I'm saying. You don't appoint that not model citizen over black people because he doesn't have the discernment or the care for that black person, because hell, he's showing a limited lack of care for his damn self, so you know he don't give a two shits about a black person. Come on. Common sense. So when we tackle issues such as this, I just want people to be on ease and not get offended so easily by swallowing hard truth pills, because if we don't, we're going to tear this country apart, because no one is taking injustice anymore. You know, no one is doing it. No one has to, because you know why? And we're going back to when I originally started this broadcast. Country people. You can't get country people to believe certain things because we grew up in the country. Man, I don't care how you see it in the city, or your point of view on finances, or your point of view on what black people should do or whatnot, or different points of views. And when I say your point of view, I'm just talking about out of the billions of people on the planet, not individuals. Out of the billions of people on the planet, one thing country people understand is nature. They know harvest time, so they know a truth that's bigger than what man perceives. They know that you plant this particular vegetable this time of the year if you want it to grow. They understand what electricity, what lightning and water does to the ground that causes plants to grow. So when you come talking to them about something material and they like, yeah, that's fine, but one thing I do know is it's going to take this lightning and this water to strike this ground in order for these plants to start budding and growing. And then we're able to eat. They understand that much. So all the rest of it that you put on top of that, that's just the gravy. That's the trimmings. But when you get down to the foundation of things, you gotta have some earth. You gotta have some water. You gotta have that electricity, that lightning strikes that dirt, that ground. And now you having a successful harvest, and you enjoy life, and we talk upon that. You know what I mean? And the only problem you gonna have is jumping somebody's gate trying to steal their produce or steal one of their cattle or a horse. Or, and I don't know if this, now we gonna talk about race, but we talking about jealousy, which leads to racism. Now, you've been told black people wasn't about this, they don't accomplish this, they not that. That's pushed out in the media. You got a farm, black man got a farm. White man has a farm, black man has a farm. Black man surveys, white man has 3 acres, black man has 5 acres. Now, he managed on his 5 acres to create a system. He can have some horses, have some cattle. He growing some collard greens, wheat, some corn, he's dead because he created a system. White man on his 3 acres, barely, his wheat drying up. He barely can get a harvest. So instead of asking the black man, it's pride. What you do to get your farm so successful? He look over there and say, How in the hell that's not fair for a nigger's farm to be better than mine? And that's the problem. That's the problem. You judging this man, but not his mind. You feel as though he doesn't have a mind, but really you just envious that his mind was stronger than yours, and you threw a tantrum and had to get into name calling and had to get savage and started plotting his destruction. Because you're saying that you can't function in a society where a person of color is doing better than you or is holding a position or office higher than your office or your position. And you saw that prevalent when President Obama was in office. I mean, the fact that he was even in the White House, because some sick-minded individual felt as though he didn't deserve to be, even though he had the education and knowledge and the people voted for him, even the electoral colleges voted for him. So why is that a hard pill to accept? Black people have always done great. I always refer back to First University in Timbuktu. I always refer back to the dynamic artwork of the Olmec heads, which was the oldest civilization in Mexico. Black folks building pyramids while Europe was trying to fight their way out of the Dark Ages. Black folks was building civilizations while Europe was trying to understand the fact that cats eat mice, eat rats. You get rid of all the cats. And the mice bit people. Bubonic plague started. Didn't have penicillin. Didn't know that you molded bread can create penicillin to help heal the body. That knowledge wasn't prevalent back then until the Moors was telling them, well, bring the cats in. Cats kill the mice, the bubonic plague go away. Eat some of this penicillin bread that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad broke down and save your damn self. Well, what did they Moors get in return? They were called black and ugly. They were called dark savages. They were called everything under the sun, except they didn't get a thank you for building institutions. Look at Spain. Spain wouldn't have been Spain without the knowledge that the Moors brought to them. I mean, what's wrong with telling that truth? We don't, look, black people didn't mind accepting the white Jesus. Black people didn't mind saying, when they said, well, Jesus was white, you didn't hear any outcry from black people. If you want to paint Jesus white, they were like, even though we know in that region he couldn't be, but still, all right. We didn't go out attacking white people. And the reason why I'm saying this is the fact that right is right. It ain't about right. Right was right. Universal laws was right before people was on the planet. 93 million miles away. And that sun gives light and causes plants to grow, causes life to be life. Man didn't do any of that, but man feels as though he has the right to discriminate against another man. Didn't have a hand in any of it. Man didn't put the clouds in the sky. That was done by gods. All of you are God's children of the Most High God. So let's get into your Godship. It's like you playing, man. It's like you playing Little League when the situation is calling for a pro mind. You playing Little League mind ball when the situation is calling for a pro mind ball. That's the game, you know. I mean, you playing, you reading, you still doing screen passes Because you don't trust your mind, which is the quarterback. You don't trust the quarterback to go downfield and throw that bomb, and you scared it's going to get intercepted. So you safe, and you do a dunk, little dink pass, little 3, 4 yard, 5 yard dink pass, a screen pass for safety. Because you don't trust that the quarterback has the mindset to put the ball right where it needs to be, 50, 60 yards downfield. That's what that's about. So yeah, country people. See, people are not going to get the whole piece of the pie or the puzzle unless you include country people mindset. You're not including country people in the picture and it's our city mindset, then you missing a half. Because the country mindset is based on life and what it is and how it grows. Because they got their hands in that dirt and that soil. They see how that worm germinates that soil. You know you got good soil when you put a shovel in it and you pick up that dirt and you see them worms growing and moving around in that dirt. You got good soil. It's planting time. You know, you got some clay dirt. You mix in that clay dirt to break up that clay dirt, because when it gets wet and that clay dirt hardens, it'll choke the roots and some plants, flowers. So if you ain't including country in it, you know what I mean? What you got? See, and that's the wonderful thing about Houston, though. You got city and country. You just gotta mix the two. City and country. Verbal Pick Radio. We're out. Shout out, boys from the 6. Low Key Gino doing that thing tonight at the Skyline. What's that, 1960 Jones Road? Putting that down. My boy, man. Damn, Abdul Razak. Man, I appreciate it. He gave me that metaphysical Bible. Woo! Man, that's heavy. Appreciate that, bruh. Man, all of Highway 6, man. Cypress, Houston, South Park, South Lee, Mammoth, Crestmont, Casarita Pass. Man, definitely going down the trade. The Coon Dots. Roberts Vader, Let's Make America Black Again. Going down. Brother Jamal. Man, we want to, y'all get the next Tuesday's phone call, man, and listen in on this, brother. And we'll give that number on the air before next Tuesday, inshallah. And we'll make sure that happens, because I did have my friends from Dallas, man, check him out, man. Brother is heavy, and the energy, the vibration, the energy, and which he gives to his lectures, it does illuminate them chakras that's within. And everybody, man, y'all enjoy it, man. Wife and family, enjoy. Y'all have y'all a good day, man. It's about life. It's about family. It's about growing. It's about building. It's about standing your ground. It's about don't tread on me. It's about enjoying life. Verbal Pick Radio. We're out.